All right, you gotta close your eyes. Come on. Now open.
I don't really like the wig. I really like the painting, just not the wig.
So this is a big project. It all starts with this wonderful photo shoot day. The point of this photo shoot was to capture different portraits in different lighting styles, different hairstyles with wigs, but to overall get multiple photo portraits for reference to paint. And it took me like 3 weeks to get my girlfriend to participate. Let's begin. Okay, lighting 101. So the point of this black right here is to crush all the shadows with no bounce light, really harsh light here. If I even put my hand here, you could see the amount of bounce light on my hand onto her face. I'm gonna zoom in so you can see. We want some reflection. We maybe wanna control the light to frame the shape of her body to separate her from the background. We wanna soften the edges of those shadow shapes. And then I also want to bring some sort of either reflected light or another light source. Now, I don't want to bore you. This photo shoot was 3 hours. It was amazing. Revamping my knowledge and going over fundamentals of painting theory for portraiture, but also just for photography and cinematography. Obviously, I can't put it all in this video. I don't think you guys care. If you do care and interested how to achieve portraiture and lights and techniques with rim light and bounce light, even using windows and not crazy equipment to get awesome photographs. It's all included in the premium version of this video that's on my website. But yeah, this is just a great day. It really was awesome. Here are some of the awesome photos. This is the one we're gonna paint today. Really epic. So let's start prepping for the painting. There's nothing like prepping a nice masonite board to paint. You know, I'm a sucker for canvas prep. I do this gessoing 4 times, sand in between each layer. And then I like to use some burnt sienna to sort of rid the stark white of the masonite panel, my painting surface. It's also nice to just get some oil down, dried, even though it's not an oil ground. It's just a good step I like to do. The next step is to transfer the photo reference onto my painting surface. And I do that by using a 2-inch grid, pretty traditional way, really meticulous. You want to make sure your lines are straight and then you're just following the grid. It's a slow, meticulous process, but I really enjoy it. And we're using the same color, burnt sienna, just a little thicker, a little more opaque. And that's a great start to a painting project if you ask me. And you know, one of my favorite things about oil painting is the different ways to achieve a portrait or paint anything. Obviously, I like naturalistic painting. The different techniques to achieve a likeness, the different ways to load a brush, the different ways to mix paint, the different strategy of light and shadow. It's all this giant puzzle, and there's so many different ways, and that's why it excites me. And I love seeing other artists paint and how they use oil paint and their tools, how strategies change for different portraits or different paintings. Obviously, I have my own technique and I've built it up over the last 5-6 years of taking it seriously, and I make these videos and people always ask me about my technique and going into more depth because these videos are more just walkthroughs and sort of entertaining. But that being said, I have made a 2-hour premium video of the other portrait from this photo shoot, the more traditional one with traditional lighting. I walk through every single step. I break it down into sort of 5 steps from the original photo shoot, from canvas prep and tools, materials, gridding, every single thing, blocking in stage, mixing paint. I really just go through it all in detail. So that is available on my website. I also think for a really good price, just shamelessly plugging here because this video isn't sponsored by anyone. All right, we're starting with the next session. So much craziness in the studio. Sometimes I just get to paint for 4 hours one day and I have to wait a few days later to start again. So everything is dry over here. I just sort of redid the setup. We got everything going. Hopefully this 360 cam is wacky and crazy, but really excited to bang out the flesh tone side of the face, do more of the background. We're gonna really get far today. I'm gonna paint for like 5 hours. Let's go. If you were to rank oil painting in sort of chronological order, I think the beginning stages are the most exciting, but the most challenging. I certainly work at this sort of iterative pace and style. You know, I'm never trying to nail things first try. You know, there's no rules and multiple layers and continuing to paint over stuff. So I just like getting something down, obviously trying to follow the reference, but I can only really iterate and progress and improve once I have paint down. And we are looking really good. I thought I'd update where we are in this stage right now. You could see that the painting is sort of in this middle value zone. It's complete, you know, everything's there. It looks like the reference. We got color, we got shapes, we got proportions right, some value. But the main thing in my next stage that I'm thinking about in the theory of successful portraiture is pushing those highlights and pushing those darks. We could go lighter and we could go darker while simultaneously sort of refining and cleaning everything up. That's sort of my agenda with whatever I want to do stylistically, but sort of fundamentally building the portrait. We could go lighter and go darker. I've also realized I don't have bright enough colors to mix those super neon lights hitting her face, so I need to run to the art store to get higher chroma paint colors. Victory! So while we're here also, I just want to show you some of these colors that I've just mixed. These are super vibrant colors for the highlights like I was talking about. You could see this color, this yellow, it's way higher in value, but also in saturation. So we can really mess around with these highlights different ways, stylized. We got pink to more red to yellow. For the different zones of the face, I gotta be very gentle and delicate because again, these are really powerful colors. We don't wanna muck this nice sort of naturalistic flow we got going on, but we do wanna add some super sexy, super saturated highlights. That's what I like to do at least. And now you're probably like, what am I doing? Well, this is like an important stage that I recently been doing, glazing layers. It's really hard to talk about and explain without going in depth. That's why I go in depth in the premium video of the other portrait glazing layers, but it's just really subtle things to help homogenize and affect values as well as hues in different places. Transparent thin layers. But it's all good. We're getting to the end here where you're really rendering. I think it's interesting to show that the last 20% of the painting, you use like 1/20th the amount of paint, but you affect it like 5 times more. I feel like in the last 20%, the painting really comes to life and you're really able to achieve the likeness and depth and realism or style that you want. So it's really exciting, and it's just so fun to put these final last highlights on the painting. All right, you gotta close your eyes. Come on.
Okay. You gotta guide me.
A little closer, a little closer, a little closer. Right there.
Okay.
All right. Now open.
I don't really like the wig, but it is a good painting. I don't know what else to say. I do like it. I think it's great. I mean, it definitely looks like me, just the wig is super unnatural. I actually can't, like I physically can't. I am excited for the more naturalistic painting because I like that photo better.
So this was obviously a very creative, punchy, colorful, high contrast painting, and I do like it. I tend to actually go the opposite, naturalistic, not super contrasty, which is the other portrait. So this is sort of the mini series of portraits of my girlfriend Tori. She's a trooper. Shout out to her. She hates being on camera, and I forced her to sort of, give her reaction. But I think she likes both of them. Clearly, the naturalistic painting is a bit more her speed. Me too, maybe. But it's fun using really poppy colors and mixing really high chroma. It's just a fun experience. These paintings are like way bigger than I usually do for portraiture. The neon painting is 14 by 18 inches, and then the traditional painting is 16 by 20, and the 16 by 20 is actually bigger than a human head, bigger than Tori's actual head in real life. So it's just a lot more paint, a lot more process, but you get to use bigger brushes. You get to get little in the weeds more with details, which is sometimes great and not great, but all in all, a really fun project. I hope you learned something, were entertained, and definitely check out the premium video if you want to learn the steps that this painting took. But also I'm uploading the traditional painting on YouTube very soon, and then that has the 2-hour premium video, 5 steps to paint realistically to achieve realism. I think it's really beneficial. Again, I wish I had that when I was starting off oil painting, because I think it's a great asset, learning how people use brushes and how they think about value structure and all that good stuff. So Take it with a grain of salt, of course, but see you soon.
Give me 5 seconds. If I had to paint, my back would be so All right.
What do you think? Not bad.
Not bad at all.